Hey there, friends. Welcome to Just the Gems. I'm Brandon, and you know, the weather outside, it's frightful, but the fire's fine. Okay, I'm too hot. Gag over. I got all this crap. Oh, worth it. Do I have hat hair? Yeah, whatever. So the holidays are right around the corner. And you know what that means. I get presents. No, it's a time for family and reflecting on the year and the good that we've done in it. But also we get presents, and that's what this video is about. Every year my wife has complained that I purchase everything for myself that I want, leaving her with very few options for presents to get me. This year, I have cut out all my video game buying for the month of November and the month of December, leaving a wide open playing field full of games for her to indulge me in. However, she's not entirely sure exactly what I want, so in lieu of a standard, boring paper list, I'm making a multimedia extravaganza. It's multimedia extravaganza, So, I'm happy to present to you, specifically you, my wife, Jen, who's been on the channel before, but also to the interested public, my top 10 JRPGs on my Christmas wish list. Let's get into it. I do probably still have a hat here, don't I? It feels like I do. Alright, so starting off at number 10, we have Valkyrie Elysium. So this one seems to have landed with a little bit of a meh from the critical community. I feel like I can kind of see why from the trailers. Nothing here looks amazing. It doesn't look like a groundbreaking role-playing experience like Valkyrie Profile was, or even as compelling and interesting as Valkyrie Profile 2 on the PlayStation 2, but I'm a completionist, and I need to have this Valkyrie Profile game along with that tactical one, I think, on the DS, in order for my collection to be complete. So, you see the bind that I'm in. This, once again, has music by Motoi Sakuraba, which, I don't know, I feel like when I was younger, that might have been more exciting to me. But as I've gotten older and more jaded, I feel like, I don't know, that he had maybe 2 or 3 good soundtracks back in the day, and he's just kind of been coasting on that for the last 25 years. Maybe I'm being harsh, but I don't know. The Tales to Arise soundtrack was just a... There's not a single memorable song, except for the Back to the Future theme, which he stole and worked into the main theme. It's Back to the Future. Anyway, I don't want to go off on this. We said we weren't going to go off on Motoi Sakuraba anymore. It's personal. Let's keep it personal. All right, so what do we got here on the official site? Long ago, Ragnarok, the end times, loomed upon the realms. The Allfather Odin, with the last of his strength, created an emissary of redemption, Valkyrie. Her sole task, the salvation of a doomed world. And thence began the tale of a new Valkyrie. Okay, well, spoiler alert, first of all, I live in modern times, so I know for a fact none of that happened. There was no end of the world apocalypse back in Norse Viking times. It didn't happen. Sorry, check your history books. So it looks like this one is straight up action RPG in a shift from the earlier games in the series. I honestly don't have a huge problem with Square Enix's move in a more action direction for a lot of their big games. Like Final Fantasy 16, for example. I get it. It's fine. And it's fine because there are a lot of other interesting series that can kind of carry that turn-based battle torch for them. I would have thought that Valkyrie Profile was one of those series, though. I would have thought that that was one of the series where doing an interesting turn-based combat system would be one of the selling points. By making it an action RPG, though, you've just kind of given us a sort of generic, kind of bland-looking hack and slash. Am I making this sound like this doesn't belong on my top 10? It is. It is on my top 10. It's at number 10 for a reason, but it is on my top 10. Number 9, the DioField Chronicle. I keep wanting to call this DioField Chronicles, but it's not. It's just the one Chronicle. It only has the one. Narnia had several of them. DioField just got the one Chronicle. Let's see, what does the site say? A deep and immersive story brought to life with the latest graphics. Well, I would assume that these weren't some graphics that they just found lying around in a drawer. Like, I would assume that they are current, that they made them for this game. Latest is it's just a weird way to describe graphics. So they talk about some diorama style visuals. That's sort of the feel that I get from the HD 2D games. I know this isn't quite that, but still, that concept is intriguing to me, so I'm on board graphically, I think. The collector's edition comes with like a tabletop game? That's the sort of crap they usually get me with. Some sort of like atypical inclusion that is something that I think I'm going to use and that I never ever use. Like, I think Tokyo Xanadu came with a pack of Blade playing cards, and I loved playing Blade in those games, in the Trails of Cold Steel games. I'm like, yes, finally, my dreams have come true, a physical Blade. I never played, never one time have I used those cards. I don't know, I tend to operate under the delusion that I might actually use this. Dang it. Number 8, Monster Hunter Stories 2. Wings of Ruin. So the original Monster Hunter Stories on the 3DS is like $1 jabillion. So we're gonna pass on that for now and stick with the sequel. Normally, I've said before that I don't like going out of order. I'm gonna make an exception to save myself a lot of money. What do we got? Hatch, raise, and live alongside monsters as a monster rider in this fun-filled RPG set in the Monster Hunter universe. Okay, so I'm a monster rider in this one. I'm glad monsters and humans are getting along, and presumably those cat things are as well. Everybody's friends. The main character is just listed as protagonist. So I guess that they're going with the generic silent protag here. Well, whatever. I really thought that, I don't know, when games went fully voiced that they would completely move away from this silent protagonist stuff, because it doesn't make sense. No other storytelling medium cripples its ability to tell the story by making its main character a complete blank slate. That's not how you tell a story. See this for more on my thoughts on silent protagonists. I have thoughts. Anyway, this looks pretty cool, and I am, a fiend for JRPGs, so obviously I'm going to get it. Next, number 7, Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. Do I really want this game? It has Final Fantasy in the title, so I feel like I kind of have to, but I'm a big story and characters guy, and I haven't heard a lot that's super compelling in that arena with this game. Also, not super related, but did they mean Stranger in Paradise? Not Stranger of Paradise? Because if he's of Paradise, that means that's where he's from, right? He's the Stranger of Paradise? So he's not, right? Like, so he wouldn't be a stranger there. He would be known because that's where he's from. I don't mean to be pedantic, but sometimes you gotta be pedantic. Looks like it's by Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja, so at least there's some experienced developers behind this. I don't know. Maybe this belongs further back on my list. Is it too late to redo this? Make this number 10? No? Okay. Number 6, Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Okay, reasons why I want Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Zack Fair. Dreamboat. Enough said. That's it. That's all you need. Zack Fair. Look at him. Beautiful boy. So I don't know, like, this looks like a step above a remaster, doesn't it? Like, this was a PSP game. So we're talking a notch below PlayStation 2 quality. Like, it was very good for its time. The fact that it was a portable PlayStation that played games near PlayStation 2 quality was amazing, but it wasn't quite there. This looks better than that. This looks like more than just like an up-res on the textures and a decompress on the soundtrack, right? Why do all these game posters have like a triangle of heroes standing and looking out into the distance in different directions? What are they looking at out there? What is that? Why do they do that? I say games like that. Like, I know of two. There's this and then the Trails poster that I have back there, but still, it seems odd. So I, for one, loved Crisis Core on the PSP. I knew exactly what was going to happen in the end of this game because I've played Final Fantasy VII, played it obsessively. So I knew everything. I still bawled like a baby when the ending came because it was just so well told. So well done. Just masterfully presented. And I'm really excited to see how it looks and plays today with all these updates. I also suspect, given some of the whispers, tomfoolery with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, that maybe I don't exactly know what to expect this time. We'll see. But anyway, it's on the list. I think it comes out mid-December, Jen, so just make note that that's a little ways down the line. You can't pick that one up on Black Friday. Sorry. Number 5, Tactics Ogre Reborn. So I've heard basically nothing in all my time on the internet. I've heard nothing but marvelous things about this entire series and how it's a travesty that there has not been a new entry to the Tactics Ogre series in who knows how long. A long time. One hesitation that I've had with tactical JRPGs in general all along has been they always seem really political and like dour. Does that make sense? Everything is very serious and very British. Not like British in like a monarchy sort of way, not in like a hilarious sort of way. The story, as I'm reading it here on the website, is not exactly dispelling that fear. Kingdoms in turmoil, king dies, civil war. I don't know. I guess maybe I just need to open my mind to more politically based tactical thrillers. Number 4, Star Ocean, The Divine Force. Okay, so I know that the more recent Star Ocean games have not been the most beloved. Actually, I think you could make the argument that people have been complaining about Star Ocean since Till the End of Time on PS2. But like I said, I'm a completionist, and my plan is to marathon my way through all the Star Ocean games in 2023 in sequential order, similar to how I did with the Tales of series back when I first started collecting around like 2019. So I'm looking forward to blasting my way through all the Star Ocean games, and naturally the Divine Force is part of that, so good or bad, it needs to be in the collection. It's high up on the list because that playthrough is happening next year. Stay tuned. So I'm not crazy about the character designs. Am I alone in this? The ladies look like dolls, and the boys look like, I don't know. What is going on with that hairdo? What is it with AAA JRPG developers and the awful hair? Has it always been like this? I mean, Dragon Quest XI about broke my brain with the hairdo on that dude. And now this guy, I don't know. Am I just getting old? Is that it? I'm just getting old, aren't I? Number 3, Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. This isn't a new game, obviously. It's on 3DS, and it's one that I already own digitally. But I would like to have it physically. I had been enjoying it. I think I brought it with us when we went on vacation and played it at night in the hotel room. When we were done with all the activities for the day, I was playing through this game, really enjoying it. And then when we got home, I just stopped. It was a part of the vacation, and now that the vacation was over, the game just fell out of my mind. Never went back to it. So I've basically forgotten everything that has happened in that game up to where I don't remember anything. So I can play it from scratch, and it's going to be basically a new game for me. So since I'm trying to get into more tactical JRPGs, it just makes sense that I get well versed in Fire Emblem. I really enjoyed Three Houses, but that remains pretty much the only Fire Emblem game that I've really played. We're going to get into some Shadows of Valentia and see how we like it. Number 2, Langrisser I and II. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Brandon, you just purchased the Sega Genesis Mini 2, which features Warsong, the English version of the original Langrisser game. So what on earth do you need this modern remake for? Let's go to the tape. Ugh, that doesn't look good to me. I mean, to be honest, I'm not a super huge fan of the new art style either, but I don't know. Those little sprites just making me squint. It's making me squint. So tiny. And I'm pretty sure we never got a version of Langrisser II anyway in America, so really this package is great because it gives me those first 2 games and I can enjoy them as I was always meant to. So what do they got? They got lots of branching plot lines, choices, new game plus. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And finally, number 1. If you followed me on social media and paid any attention to the nonsense that I spout, you might have a guess what my number 1 game is. It's Triangle Strategy. Okay, first question I have is, what is happening to me? I have never wanted to play tactical JRPGs, ever. And now 5 of the games on my top 10 JRPG Christmas list are tactical. It's a strange new world we live in. And honestly, the industry is going through a sort of tactical RPG renaissance anyway, so I guess if I was ever going to get on board, now's the time. HD 2D, obviously, looking at the graphics. Apparently a very good story with meaningful choices. I'm not going to harp on the name again, Triangle Strategy, but I'll just say this. Triangles are not in and of themselves meaningfully strategic. Turn a triangle one way, and voila, you have the head of a spear, a deadly, versatile weapon, right? Turn it another way, and you have a doorstop. Good for keeping a door open, not much else. So, I don't know what they're thinking. Anyway, I'm super looking forward to this. So many people that I follow on YouTube, on Twitter, have been talking this game up. I like to think that my expectations are always moderated by my secret belief that everything in the world is probably going to disappoint me if I'm not extra careful with how I manage my expectations. But I do think that this is going to be a good one. I can't deny the hype anymore. I'm on the hype train. Choo choo. That's my top 10 list. A couple of quick non-JRPG honorable mentions that I really do want. Jen, by the way, if you're listening, these are up there. They're just not JRPGs. You understand they didn't fit the format. So, the first is A Plague Tale Requiem. Good gosh, I can't say enough good things about the original Plague Tale game. It's so good. Again, I went in with no expectations because that's how I live my life, and it blew me away. It was so good. So good. And I'm really looking forward to the sequel. Secondly, Spirit Hunter NG. It seems to be part of the same series that Deathmark is, and I'm in the middle of playing Deathmark. I've been really enjoying that, and I'm trying to read more visual novels, and I like the format of that series so far, so I would like to try the second game as well on the Switch so that, I can still enjoy it portably, because, I don't know, for most games I like to play on TV, but with a visual novel, I feel like it really does feel better, kind of like reclining on the couch, like you would be reading a book. So that's how I want to try that one out. That is my top 10 list. Thank you to those of you who responded and let me know some of your ideas. I think you'll probably see some overlap with your desired games and mine. Always appreciate hearing about different games from you all. Let me know in the comments what are some of the games that you are hoping to find tucked under the tree this year. And please like the video, please subscribe. And until next time, bye.